All right, what's up, guys? Hidden Wisdom 2020 here. So what I want to do today, like I always try to do, is impart some knowledge to you about the last days and about some patterns that God has shown me 100% that cannot be denied because it's about mathematics. It's about numbers. And when you look at the numbers, then there's no fighting it. Mathematics is a universal language. I don't care what country you're from. Mathematics says the same thing all across the earth. So, have you been keeping up with me for a while? I've been telling you that 2029 is the return of Jesus Christ, and it is. That is the year that is added up to for the 6,000 year period in the Bible that is prophesied. 6 days of creation, seventh day he rested. That's symbolic of 6,000 years, and on the seventh year will be the 1,000-year millennial reign of Jesus Christ on earth, resting on earth. And that is in 1 or 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. A day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as a day to the Lord. So that is a type and shadow. Also in Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, he says that his spirit shall not always contend with man, for his days shall be 120 years. It's talking about jubilees. A jubilee is a 50-year cycle. 120 of them is 6,000 years. So these are a couple of things that confirm this 6,000-year period. Now, this 6,000-year period would be starting from when Adam fell. And I can't get into all that. I don't have all that time. But it adds up to 2029, 6,000 years. So I'm going to show you a pattern that I've shown before. This is representing 2015, 2022, and 2029. And the reason that I come to these years is because in 2015, something happened, okay? And it was a rare blood moon tetrad. Now, we know from the Bible in Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 17, that the sun, the moon, and the stars are there for signs, seasons, which means appointed times, days, and years. So we are looking at a 14-year period here, mirroring Joseph in the Old Testament. It was 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. See, the Bible is a repeating pattern. And those Old Testament stories, they repeat each other. They're types and shadows of the future. And so we have signs in the heavens that have kicked this 14-year period off. Now, this is what the Lord showed me by revelation 100%, what I'm about to show you right now. I've shown it before, but we're going to get into it. 2015, if you break it down, 20 plus 15, 20 plus 15 is 35. If you break this one down, 20 plus 22 is 42. And 2029 is 49. See how we did that? This is straight direct revelation from the Lord that showed me this. Never heard this anywhere else, and it all came to me one day. That's another story. So, if we add 35 and 42, 35 plus 42 is 30 plus 40, 77. We have 77. Now, that's interesting for another reason that I'll show you in a minute. So, we have 77 right here, and if we times that by 49, you get the number 3773. Now, why is this amazing? This is purely amazing. Because when you look in the very first book of the Bible, in the very first verse of the Bible, which is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, in the Hebrew, the very first verse in the Bible, in the Hebrew, adds up to 2701. 2701, the very first verse in the Bible, adds up to in Hebrew. Remember, in Hebrew, letters are numbers. Now, what's so important about that number? Because you get that number if you multiply 37 times 73. If you multiply 37 times 73, you get 2701, which is the numeric value of the very first verse in the Bible in Hebrew. And now we have it over here. Well, why is that kind of amazing? Because Isaiah 46:10, I probably spelled that wrong. Isaiah 46:10 says that God declares the end from the beginning. It's all a pattern, and he's showing us through numbers. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, you see that the world is digital code, and that's what they're trying to say now, is that we're in a simulation. Well, we kind of are, but we kind of aren't. Got to remember, everything that they tell you is a half-truth. But either way, if there's a simulation, who's the simulator creator? That's where the trickery comes in. But it's not technically a simulation, but it's like an organic simulation, but it's not a simulation. It's like on the same idea level, right? Like the Matrix, right? And so that is pure evidence of where we're at today. Now I can take this even one step further. If you take 2015 and you multiply it, what if we multiply it? 20 times 15, you get 300. What about 20 and 22? 20 times 22, you get 440. And 20 times 29, you get 580. 300, 440, and 580, if you multiply these, 20 times 15, and so on, instead of add them. So why is that amazing? Because if you add these all up, no multiplication, you get the number 1320. Do you know that the number 1320 in the Strong's Concordance, which is the Greek definitions for the words, if you go to the number 1320, what it falls under is didaskalo. And that means master and teacher. Master and teacher. I have never ever seen anybody teach this, share anything like this, ever. This was straight revelation from God for me. 100%. And there's so much more. This is just the beginning. So hopefully you'll stick with me through my videos and learn some more. 2029 is it. And in the movie The Terminator, John Connor, who is the type and shadow of Jesus, comes and fights with the resistance against the artificial intelligence, which we know that the artificial intelligence is part of the agenda these days. He comes and fights the artificial intelligence in 2029. Can't even make this stuff up, guys. It's called predictive programming in movies. They're telling us a lot of truth in these movies. But it's always mixed with some deception. God bless.
I run them over with the bimmer. They asking who am I? Zim Zimmer, the mobster, steak and lobster. You could be Jamaican, couldn't make it on the roster. It's the Mafia, Capone, ain't no Kevin Costner, no Pixar. If I use the ink, then I'm a monster. I grab the mic, no Wazowski. Y'all getting robbed like Gronkowski. It's my house, it falls down without me. Remember y'all used to go balls out to doubt me. Now you need stomp down to walk around around me. Who let the dogs out from the dog pound? Thought it was 2020, how I got it on lockdown. God sound, next generation is on now. Here to take J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar's crown. They know I'm a star. Sky's the limit. I'm going to Mars, Venus. Thought it was Dwayne Johnson the way that I rock arenas. Rappers cannot see us. Feeling like John Cena. There's a big gap between us. Melanie Martinez. Right with this EpiPen. Your reaction is not needed. Make you swell up and fall like you just ate a jar of peanuts. And they bless me like I done got sneezing. Holders of COVID cards trying to make you stop breathing. How you sounding is through. Molehills thinking I'ma make a mountain of you. About to make you spit your water like a fountain to do. Fuck your whining and your pining and your crowning is true. Follow EA, calling in and he stay packed. Call me LeBron, Danny James, a Lil D-Wade rap. Some Vince Carter dunking. You gotta replay it back. Making the band, have them walk to get me Cheesecake Factory. I'm R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. If y'all was mixing it, hating on my songs if you drink a kid pissing it. Y'all know the flow come dirty like Flint, Michigan. See they rolling till they get tired. This shit Michelin. I'm the type to smack up your face that your kids printing it like shit. This again, it's the house of God.